Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Interview. I'm Sean Aylmer. AI isn't just coming, it's well and truly here. And those who aren't using it run the risk of being left behind. But Australian executives are being warned that while they might think they're embracing AI, they're stuck in outdated operating models that move too slowly, cost too much and deliver too little. Throughout his career, Clive Dickens has held senior digital roles at companies like Optus, Seven West Media and Southern Cross Austereo, and advised tech businesses like Shazam and Airtasker. He's now launched the Meliora Company, M-E-L-I-O-R-A, Meliora Company, an international consultancy to work with businesses looking to harness the power of AI. He's also a great supporter of Fear and Greed and joins me in the studio. Clive, welcome to Fear and Greed.
Thank you for having me.
So we talk a lot about AI. Do we actually know what we're talking about? Do we understand what we're talking about? And and generative AI here is what I'm thinking about.
I think you need to think about November 2022. Because November 2022 is when ChatGPT became available. Now, machine learning has been around for a lot longer than that. In fact, I made my first investment in an AI company about 7 years ago. But it was really that November 22 moment that was transformatory. And not since the arrival of the iPhone and the App Store in 2007 or the arrival of the World Wide Web in the mid-90s have we seen something quite as transformative as this. And really, it was those Gen AI LLMs that really changed the game.
Let's go. Gen AI LLMs, large language models. Artificial intelligence, large language models. Yep.
Yeah. And so obviously we've all used the various products, I'm sure, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and ChatGPT. But the real innovation is around tokenizing that LLM to solve a business problem with an application. So Google, for example, announced their fantastic video tool last week and an amazing product called Beam. But the real gem of the story inside their announcement was the billions and billions of token requests that Gemini had served to third-party businesses solving complex problems with their LLM. So you go back to the 90s and people said to you, oh, you really need a website. Someone's told me I need a website. And of course, we knew we definitely needed a website. Fast forward to 2008, someone told you, you really need an app. I need an app. And whether it's Uber or Airbnb or our banking apps or email apps, the apps changed everything we did on the mobile internet. Now you need to deploy a Gen AI application in the application layer to solve complex business problems. And that's what we're trying to hope to help large and medium-sized businesses do here right in APAC and across the world.
So in a way that I will understand it, how do you do that? I get where I'm up to with this conversation so far. How do you involve yourself in generative AI such that you can use these large language models to provide solutions to business problems?
Yeah, so there's probably three core ways of which you could start. And the first one, most people have started by using some form of GPT product or Claude product or Gemini. And I encourage businesses, small, medium, and large, to move from the free products to the paid products as soon as possible, because the paid products are orders of magnitude better than the free ones. And that's really a really good start, whether it's in homes, businesses, or large enterprises. And you're seeing big companies like News Corp deploy premium products for their journalists and stuff. But the real innovation happens when you actually think about looking at the many hundreds of startups who are actually now building business applications in the application layer. So, for example, there's a business I've just invested in, which is a procurement AI business that completely automates small and medium procurement for everything from a cafe to a small business, because business owners waste huge amount of time doing procurement, and they obviously want to get the best price. So this business really automates all of that. So you can deploy this particular business and this product, and you can improve your procurement as a small business. And there are thousands of businesses now who are using their tokenization to think about how they can solve complex business problems. And the third way would be if you had your own developers and your own product team, and you decided that we're going to do it ourselves, a bit like you might build technology inside a business yourself. You might build an app, you might have your own website, you might have some of your own technology, and you can actually request those tokens and actually solve complex business problems that way. So 3 different ways: the GPTs and premium, the hundreds and maybe even thousands of startups that are solving business problems, or effectively having your own team and getting into it.
Stay with me, Clive. We'll be back in a minute. My guest this morning is Clive Dickens, Managing Partner of the Meliora Company. Okay, so I think I know how I can get into it. How do you optimize it? So what's interesting in what you said just ahead of the break, right? So ChatGPT I've used. I didn't realize that there's going to be the functionality. There's hundreds or thousands of small companies at the moment working on functionalities. So for me and my business, it's like getting something off the shelf.
Yes.
To
just like a
organise my inventory.
website, just like an app.
Yeah. Okay. So that kind of ecosphere, I'd imagine that there's going to be all sorts of products that come out of that. Whereabouts do you think we're going to see the big development? Is it at the SME level? Is it at the big business level? Where do you think it's going to come from?
Well, I think this is industrial revolution type change.
Yeah.
So it's going to be at every single level, from our children, the way they learn at school, through to our families and older families around aged care. It's going to impact, and it's already impacting, the whole of society. At Meliora, we focus on TMT, telco, media and technology. That's our niche. And of course, in the middle of that is that big media category. So we're trying to specialize in that area and trying to help telecom businesses, media businesses, and technology businesses improve their efficiency. And the other key thing for us is that we feel that there's business growth opportunities that come out of Gen AI. So much of the discussion is about efficiency or fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. Actually, we are what we call relentlessly optimistic about Gen AI. And we actually believe that we can help businesses not just grow their bottom line through efficiency, which of course is very important business skill, but actually grow the business at the top line through revenue as well. So because we're very much a growth business, and that's where we specialize.
Yeah, it's interesting. Telstra's Vicky Brady last week talked about the fact that there will be fewer people employed at Telstra to provide the same service, which is an efficiency. Suncorp was at the same conference run last week, and they talked about 7,000 Cyclone Alfred people being serviced via AI. But what you're talking about is actually, let's go beyond that. Let's think not so much about productivity, although it is part of it. It's actually about new markets, that type of thing?
Absolutely, new markets. So I'd like to see the banks and the telcos and the other technology companies talk about new businesses that they could spin up, new problems they could solve, and new things that they could do with this amazing capability. I'm just seeing lots of chatter about how it's good for shareholders because it's going to be more efficient. How's it going to be good for humanity? How's it going to be good for business? How's it going to be good for people? And that's really why we exist.
A business leader listening to this morning, what should they do?
Well, one thing I always say to everyone I talk to, whether it's my family or friends, is really get in and start paying for a product.
Yep.
Because if you are free, then you are the product. We all know that. And actually, the sort of entry level products at $20 a month, that's probably not investing enough. You need to be probably spending $200-300 even in a small business. Now, what will happen, although that's a lot of money for a lot of people, once you start paying for something, it's amazing how much you'll use it, because nobody likes wasting money.
Yep.
And that's a bit like whether you're going into further education and you're trying to improve anything about yourself, or you're going to the gym. Actually, this is about self-improvement. And now this is the next big learning. So make a big investment of time and money, and then start to think about what business problems you will solve. And also talk to companies like us and plenty of other companies around the world that help you accelerate solving these business problems.
How fast is it coming? Where will we be in 5 years?
Well, I'm definitely not a futurist, but I am an optimist. I think I've worked for over 30 years. I've seen these incredible technological changes in my career in the past. This is by far the most significant and the fastest. We've started a business today that is based across 3 regions, across APAC, America, and EMEA, which is very ambitious. I've never started a business like I've started lots of businesses, but I've never started a business with 3 offices in 3 jurisdictions, because we think there's so much work out there. So if that's an indication of the rate of change, then that's hopefully that's a good one. So hard to predict how fast, but definitely the fastest of anything I've seen in my 30 plus career.
Is it exciting or scary?
at Meliora, we have one of our values is relentless optimism.
Yep.
And we have to be optimistic about the future. It's how you get up in the morning and how you motivate yourself. And having worked for over 30 years, and you see the contribution that technology makes to society and the impact that technology can have on society, you sort of decide to yourself, well, this new technology, let's be excited. Let's make it exciting, and let's shape it for a better humanity. And that's the way that we think about it each day.
Clive, thank you for talking to Fear and Greed.
Thank you very much.
That was Clive Dickens, co-founder and managing partner of the Meliora Company. That's Meliora, Meliora Company, a great supporter of this podcast. This is the Fear and Greed business interview. Join us every morning for the full episode of Fear and Greed, business news you can use. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.